Braun Breakker walked straight into Raw and got in Roman Reigns' face like he owned the place. Most guys hesitate when the tribal chief steps in. Not Braun. No history. No respect. Just one goal. Prove he's the new top dog. He didn't shout. He didn't back down. He stared Reigns down and said, "You built the table? I'm here to flip it." Reigns smirked but didn't move. Is this the next power shift? Or a fight Braun won't survive? Follow now, because the new generation just declared war. It started with silence. The kind of silence that turns heads, makes locker rooms tense, and forces even the loudest arenas to hush. Monday Night Raw was already electric, but the moment the Tron flickered and that word drum-style music hit, you could feel something different. Braun Breakker had arrived. And this wasn't just another rookie trying to ride the coattails of his legacy. This was something else. This was a storm with a mission. The son of Rick Steiner. The nephew of Scott Steiner. A man built from wrestling royalty, but too bold to live in anyone's shadow. He didn't walk out with fireworks or over-the-top fanfare. He didn't need it. His shoulders carried enough presence to shake the stage. Every step he took down that ramp was a message. I didn't come here to be part of the show. I came to change the game. But what nobody saw coming was where he walked next. Straight toward Roman Reigns. The tribal chief had just wrapped a segment backstage. The camera was panning out, the moment winding down. Roman, flanked by security, Heyman whispering in his ear, was heading back to his private locker room. And then Braun turned the corner. Their eyes locked. And in that 1 second, the entire power dynamic of WWE felt like it hit a pause button. Roman stood his ground, calm, composed, and confident. The same Roman Reigns who ran WWE for years. Who dismantled legends. Who turned family members into soldiers. And yet, Braun didn't blink. He stepped forward. Right into Roman's space. Inches away. Not reckless. Not foolish. Calculated. Determined. "You built the table?" Braun said, his voice low. Not for effect, but because he didn't need to raise it. "I'm here to flip it." A pause. Roman smirked. That trademark smirk. The one that usually ends with a spear or a Superman punch. The one that comes right before someone gets humbled. But not this time. Because Braun didn't budge. Behind the camera, Paul Heyman's face contorted into nervous panic. He whispered to Roman. Twice. Urgently. Roman didn't even flinch. He just stared at Braun like he was trying to decide whether to laugh or lunge. Backstage crew held their breath. One security guard's hand even hovered near his earpiece, ready to call backup. But Roman said nothing. He turned and walked away. And that's when the internet exploded. Did Braun Breakker just punk out Roman Reigns? Roman's not used to being talked to like that. What does this mean for the bloodline? But what really happened that night wasn't just a confrontation. It was the start of a new war. One that didn't need punches to begin, just pressure. The next week, Roman didn't show up. Some said it was strategic. Others whispered it was avoidance. Paul Heyman appeared on his behalf and brushed off the incident, calling Braun a talented young man who just doesn't understand the gravity of who he's dealing with. Braun wasn't buying it. He showed up again, this time in the ring. "I didn't come here to respect anyone," Braun said to the camera, live on Raw. "I didn't come here to shake hands. I came to dominate." "Roman, I said I'd flip the table and you walked away. You know what that tells me? You're not the head of the table anymore. You're just trying to hold on to the last seat." The crowd went wild. Split reactions. Boos from loyal Bloodline fans. Cheers from the ones tired of the Reigns era. But Braun didn't care. He wasn't playing a hero. Or a villain. He was playing to win. That same night, Solo Sikoa appeared out of nowhere and attacked Braun mid-match. A cheap shot. Brutal. Vicious. Sikoa's Samoan spike left Braun gasping for air, laid out on the mat as the camera cut to Paul Heyman backstage, watching with a satisfied grin. Roman still didn't show. The message was loud and clear. The bloodline speaks in actions, not words. But Braun? Braun got up. The next week, Braun confronted Heyman backstage. Cornered him. "You think I'm scared of your soldiers?" he asked. Heyman, visibly sweating, stammered. Mr. Breakker, we don't want a war. Roman is a very, very busy man. He's a global figure. A tribal chief. Braun leaned in. Tell him to find time. Then he left. It became the talk of WWE. The commentary teams danced around it. Interviews with Braun were cut short. He wasn't being pushed by creative, he was pushing through it. Then came the moment. 2 weeks later, the main event of Raw. A supposed contract signing between Braun and Seth Rollins for a #1 contender match. But when Braun walked out, Rollins never showed. Instead, Roman's music hit. The arena erupted. After weeks of silence, Roman Reigns finally came face-to-face with Braun Breakker under the lights, in front of a roaring crowd. This time, there were no smirks. Roman walked down slowly, draped in all the symbolism of his reign, his championship belt, his golden lei, Paul Heyman right behind him like a shadow. But as he climbed into the ring, Braun didn't back up an inch. Roman took a mic. For a long moment he said nothing, just looked around at the crowd, then back at Braun. You think you've made a statement, he finally said. You think you earned this moment. But see, I am the moment. I'm the reason you're even in this ring. You say you're here to flip the table? Roman stepped forward, toe-to-toe with Braun. I am the table. And Braun? He just nodded. Then get ready to break. The two locked eyes. Tension so thick it could have cut steel. No cheap shots. No ambushes. Just a stare down that had the whole WWE universe on edge. The segment ended with no violence. No brawls. But everyone watching knew what was coming. This wasn't just a feud. It was a challenge to the throne. Braun Breakker didn't want to be the next big thing. He wanted to be the thing. And Roman Reigns? He wasn't used to challengers who didn't care about his history, his legacy, his family. Braun didn't want to be acknowledged. He wanted the whole kingdom. The following week, Roman showed up on SmackDown and made it known. If Braun wants to fight the king, he's gotta beat the guards first. Which meant Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and whoever else Roman could weaponize from the shadows. And Braun? He accepted the challenge. Not with bravado. Not with arrogance. But with that same cold stare he walked in with on night 1. Now every week feels like a countdown. Braun taking out Bloodline member after member. Roman watching. Waiting. The storm circling closer to the throne. Because one day soon, there won't be any guards left. And when that happens, it'll just be the table. And the man who came to flip it. Follow now, because the war between generations is no longer brewing. It's here. And only one man walks away on top.